tomorrow morning we'll run that pipe back in until we can touch the cement. We put an accelerator in the cement so that it will harden up more quickly. So tomorrow, first thing, we'll run the pipe in and do what's called tag the bottom to just make sure that we physically can tell that that plug is where it's supposed to be.
We are on day 2 of the well plugging process. We're gonna put the pipes back down and see if the concrete that was put in yesterday is holding in the right spot. If that's the case, then we're gonna pump some gel in there to fill any extra gaps and make sure none of those fumes can be coming back up. The crew got set up for the day and began reattaching the double lengths of pipe and running them down the well to tag the bottom. This is a pretty efficient operation and moves quickly until they reach the depth where they're expecting to hit their bottom plug. Then it's slow going while Matt watches the gauges and confers with the state representative and Curtis to make sure they know where they are. But the plug isn't where they expected. It's settled down into the formation. It takes all of Wednesday's pipe to find the plug, and finally they do. They remove the top pipe and measure the exposed section to get a handle on how much extra cement will be needed to reset the plug. It's important to remember here that this well was drilled in the 1920s, and while they have some records to go by, this isn't an exact science, and minor setbacks like this may not be welcome, but they're anticipated.
They're not always all the same. We kind of have to deal with it as it progresses. I mean, most of them we move in and, rig up, run our pipe in the hole and set our bottom plug, wait till the next day, tag it. If it is still there, then we can set our top plug and be done in 2 days. If not, we set another bottom plug and wait another day and then tag it and set our top plug and hope it stays.
On day 2, we came back and had the final bottom plug, the day 1 plug, settled out into the formation. It held, but it settled down lower than the plan calls for. And so in order to ensure a good job, a well-done project, we needed to replace the bottom plug. And so we put another 50 sacks of cement down the hole. So that and the water equals about another 7,500 pounds that went into this well plugging. Again, all to ensure that we had a great job.
Then once again, all the pipe was removed from the well and stacked. Then the excess cement cleaned out of the truck. We left the field with the hopes that the new plug would hold for Friday.
So today, day 3 on the Anderson 7 orphan well plugging, we're able to set our gel spacers. So we started the day by tagging the bottom of the hole, or touching the top of the cement section, if you would, to make sure that it was there and that it met our calculations. We were successful at 1,307 feet. So what we've done over the last 2 days is we've taken this well from the initial bottom of roughly 1,500 feet, and we've come up now to 1,307 feet. So pretty awesome. We've got a couple hundred feet of cement in the hole, and now we're installing the gel spacer. The gel spacer and then a gel pill on top of that helps to create an even stronger barrier. Sometimes we'll call that a kill fluid. And what that does is it helps to reach out into the formation if there's any perforations in the casing or corrosion has caused some cracks or some really weak spots in the casing. That allows that gel to flow out into the formation outside of the casing pipe. Again, it's all about creating that good seal.
As the gel is pumped down, the liquids in the well rise to the surface. I asked Curtis about their management plan and what we were seeing there.
Some of the flow back from the fluid that's been trapped in this well literally for 30 plus years since the well has been dormant and orphaned. And so what's happening in that well section is that as we're installing cement and as we're installing gel into that 7-inch casing pipe, we're displacing the water and the oil, which are both lighter than the fluids that we're putting in. So from a hydrodynamic perspective, we're pushing that up to the surface. You were able to see that today. And so one thing that's really important to mention is that the Well Done project has a very rigorous fluids control program. So the fluid that came out of the hole then gets collected in a sump. We then vacuum that up and we take that to an on-site disposal location, which is the requirement of the Montana Board of Oil and Gas. And so, again, it may look a little gnarly as it's coming out of the hole, but it's all planned. Nobody get excited. We knew it was happening, and that's why we have the Well Done Fluid Control Program.
While the fluid management continued through the rest of the day, the team began pulling the pipes out to get in position to set the cement surface plug.
So we've just completed the gel spacer, and next we're going to be installing the surface plug, which is another 180 or so bags of cement equivalent.
Of course, as they pump that, we see more fluid, gel, and finally cement coming from the well. The sump is drained as the crew washes down the equipment and the rig is packed up. With the pipes and rig removed, they add more cement to the settled liquid in the well. When there's just cement coming out and leveling off, they know the well is plugged.
Pretty exciting here today. We're winning. We're making progress on this. Again, after day one, the methane signature was at 0, so we know that what we're doing is working and working well. This is just that extra insurance.
The sump is drained one more time and removed. And finally, the tower lowered. And we've reached the end of a very full Friday. I was hoping to see the equipment drive off the field, but that and cleaning up the well site will wait for the following week when I'll be driving back to Minnesota. Curtis did send me photos of the site once completed, as you can see here. And we also took a trip over to see the first well they plugged to get a sense of what our well will look like next year.
So today we're at the location of the Big West Anderson number 3. This well was drilled in 1924 here in northern Montana and went orphan in the mid-1980s. The Well Done Foundation team plugged this well on Earth Day of 2020, April 23rd. And this is what we end up with when we're done. We've got completely a remediated site. We're still working on some of the soil amendment at the surface here, but as you can see, the farmer was able to come in, cultivate this area immediately, planting the first crop on here since 96 years. So we're super excited at this product. You can see in this well that we've got a monitoring cap installed currently. This allows us to take our monthly measurements. Again, we've committed to a 10-year post-closure monitoring period for our orphan wells. And this is, again, part of what it looks like. We'll end up filling this up to the surface, so this next spring when the farmer comes and gets ready to plant, he'll be able to have smooth sailing. Big West Anderson number 3 was a game changer for the Well Done Foundation. This allowed us to take our theory and actually put it into practice to show that all those out there that we meant what we said and that what we said actually worked. And so it was super exciting when we plugged this well to go from nearly 6,600 metric tons of CO2 emissions annually to 0. And we are just celebrated our 150th day carbon-free here at the Big West Anderson 3.
That takes us through the bulk of the well plugging process, but there are also abandoned buildings and tanks around the field that need to be removed. That was the Saturday project, and we'll get into that in the next video, as well as talk to Carrie Kent, the founder of Carrot's Riding Apparel, about how she got involved in the Well Done Foundation, how she became a volunteer and a board member, and why she chose to sponsor plugging the previous well. All of that and more is coming up on the Well Done Foundation series, so be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.